Hello, this is Gabriel from MoveSpace.com. I wanted to shoot you a quick video to give you some instructions on those movements we worked at today. I thought it would be easiest to explain on video. This video is going to help you to really loosen up your back and hips so they feel more comfortable in different positions. It's also going to help you to train your core, to strengthen your core along with your breathing, to support your back and your SI joints. So we're going to strengthen our glute maximus, and we're going to strengthen our core. That's going to take a little load off of our back and help stabilize our SI joints. So this is especially good if folks are gripping back here. If you're reflexively gripping, you're going to end up in this forward position all the time, just like this, and you're going to end up with really tight feeling back here, and also maybe a little bit of looseness in the SI joint, because we actually do need to move throughout a more greater position in our regular life. Things like going up the stairs and things like that are going to pull that. If you're not used to lengthening or not strong in that lengthened position, you can feel a little instability here. That's part of the reason sometimes stairs or hills can be difficult. So the first movement we talked about is just moving a little bit more of that pelvis. So rather than trying to stay straight up and down, we're going to rotate the pelvis forward and then rotate the pelvis backward. You don't have to go to extreme end range of motion, although you should feel a little arch as you go forward. You should feel a little bit of rounding as you roll backwards. It's helpful sometimes to put a hand on your back, put a hand on your front, so you can push into your back and into your front. What you want to avoid as you do this is you want to avoid a lot of up and down or forward and backward movement. So a lot of times people do this like this, and you can see I'm not really getting that tuck and tilt, or people do things like this, and again, not really getting that tuck and tilt, so light, just rolling the pelvis forward and backward, just playing with that movement. You can also do this on the ground with our other exercise, and I'll show you that in a bit. Second one we did is we're going to play around with this hip hinge. So I'm going to bring this close to this wall so you can see. The first step is just getting to a place where you keep your back neutral and sink into a hip hinge until you get a little stretch in the back of your legs, and then come back up. I'm using this wall here, and you might actually start with tapping the wall and coming back up. What you want to avoid here again is doing too much down and up with the legs. So I don't want to make it a squat. I really want to make it a hinge. The other thing that you want to avoid is rounding your back as you go forward. So especially if people have that reflexive tightening back here, if I try to keep that really tight and go, you'll see this rounding in my lower back. What I want you to do is tilt to go forward so you get that arch in the lower back. And then as you come up, tuck a little bit or tilt backward a little bit so that you're not coming up into this position, but coming up into a little bit more straight upright position here. So again, showing that nice and close. Go back, so I tilted forward, go up, tilt backwards, tilt forward, go down, get a little stretch, back stay nice and neutral the entire time. Once you're feeling comfortable with that, then you can start playing around with that stretch and start hanging in the position a little bit more. Keep in mind, this is a lot of work for the glutes and hamstring in the back, so just do it, just hang out and just comfortable. If I press back on my knees, then I'm going to get a little bit more activation back here. I can feel this tightening up and a little bit of stretching. And then I'm pressing my hips forward to use my glute max to come forward. Again, feel free to come down, hang out in that position, try to get your back neutral, then straighten your legs. And you can even think about pushing backwards. I'm kind of pushing back into my bum. My weight is staying on the balls of my foot. When I push backwards into my bum, even with my weight on the ball of the foot, I can really feel that engage through the back, getting that stretch activation of the back of the legs. That's really what we want to work, is that stretch activation. In other words, strengthening these muscles in a stretched position here. We're going to do that same stretch activation, but with our core for this next one. So what I want you to work on is just the breathing. It's helpful to actually put your hands to your side. So you should feel with your hands on your side is a lot of movement out against your hand. And then as you breathe out, pulling a lot of movement in, engaging the core all the way around to keep us nice and tall. Breathe in, expand all the way around. Breathe out. Feel that core engage, keeping us nice and tall. I'm not engaging doing this. or anything, and just staying nice and tall. Once you feel you can get that breath, and I want you to bend your knees. I want you to keep going with that breath, and it's helpful to feel as you move around. Do all your different spinal movements. The goal is to not restrict your spine from moving, but at the same time using your breath and the core to support your spine in a variety of positions. Again, getting that stretch activation of our core, and then again strengthening in a variety of positions so that we can move our back nice and easily with a lot of core support. So 45 seconds to a minute playing around with all three of these movements, okay? It's gonna be really key to move forward. Okay, so talking about how you can move your back on the ground a little bit. First of all, you do that tuck and tilt. So breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And then another thing you might do if your back is bothering you is take your arms to your side, keeping your shoulders on the ground, letting your knees fall one direction and then the other, loosening up the hips and the lower back, and just relaxing. And then another way you can do this to work your rotation in your core is breathe in here, relax, breathe out. Pull your belly button to your spine, engage your core, pulling the hips and the knees back up. Breathe in, relax. Breathe out, engage. The more I engage, the slower I pull up, the harder it's going to be, the more core work's going to be. Good. Okay, so give those a try. I'll also give you one more thing that you might do when your back is bothering you is you might go legs up the wall. So we talked about going legs up the wall to do a little bit of stretching back here and back here. That's really great. What you might even do is put something under your bum, under your sacrum right here to elevate your hips a little bit. That's going to be a little bit easier in your back, give you more release. So especially you can do this when it's bothering you as well. I've just put a little cushion under my hips. And that gives me that gentle arch of the back, just like we talked about. So that way I'm not rounding my back, but I'm supporting it to get a gentle arch. And it feels nice and soothing on the back. I'm getting a little stretch of my hamstrings. And then you can just simply just relax and try to let that back chill. Okay? Try that. Try those exercises out at home 3 to 5 days a week. Thanks a lot. Let me know if it helps. Stay healthy, stay connected. Peace.